So, when last we left off with Corpse Party, uh, we made it this far. Naomi kind of fucked off to chase after, I think it's Yanagi Hori. He's the undead big zombie dude, and he grabbed Seiko's corpse. I guess because they processed some of them for further torture of the soul. But, she chased after them to try to get Seiko's body back. And now Satoshi and Yuka have met up with Ayumi and Yoshiki, and Yuki, little ghost girl missing an eyeball, has told us that we must go forth and talk to Sachiko and hopefully get her to say, "I'm sorry for murdering you." So let's go. Oh. There's a rotting corpse hanging from the ceiling. It's Yoshikazu Yanagiori. Pain. Oh, my head hurts again. Yuka, I knew I should have grabbed the ibuprofen before we left school. What's that? It's a good question. Is that Sachiko? Sorry. I told you to stay away. Don't come any closer. Don't look at me. Sachiko, please listen, Yeah, we're finally finishing up Corpse Party. Leave. Please, believe me, we mean you no harm. Leave, or I'll kill you. Dun dun dun. Damn it, we're not getting through to her. Meanwhile, in Naomi's torture room... My name is Shoujo Taguchi. I work as Ko Kabiki's cameraman and general assistant. I've gotten separated from the boss, but I intend to do exactly as I promised him I would. I'll keep filming until the bitter end, no matter what happens. I won't miss a minute. These records will serve to validate my existence. No, don't! What the heck? Too much cheese on pizza. It's the little girl's room. Who's in there? I need to stay out of sight. I hope I'm able to get this, whatever it is. Please, don't do this! Dun dun dun. Naomi! My body. I've been paralyzed. I can't move. Oh god, is everybody alright? What's wrong with your ears? Do they itch?
Satoshi, save me!
Oh fuck!
Yuka!
Yuka, god, I can't even turn my body to look at her. Are we all frozen like this?
Oh, what are you doing to me?
Oh fuck.
Ow! Stop, please!
Yuka, what's happening? Sachiko, you little bitch! Leave her alone!
Machida, get on with it, quickly!
Get on with... Ah!
Hurry!
Oh, it's two! Double the trouble.
Naoma, please! Don't do this!
Gasp. Two girls. Oh. Two girls. Fuck, now I done lost his voice again. I finally got it. Two girls. One on a bucket with her hands tied behind her back and a rope around her neck.
No! No, please! Naomi, wake up!
Oh, so Seiko's aware that she isn't even actually in there.
No!
Oh. Heck. She just kicked the bucket away. My god, this is murder. Gah, gah. What the hell did I just see? Help! Save me! Oh, and that's where the tape ends. Sachiko, this is yours. It's a part of your body that was taken from you. Open your eyes, please. Offer Sachiko's tongue. Yes. Offer Naho's notebook. No.
Mommy, you promised.
Your mom's been suffering just as much as you have. The things you're doing aren't making her happy at all. Offer Black Cat plushie. Yes. No.
Who? Where's my mommy? Where am I?
I can move again. Does that mean it's working? Come on, everyone. Take out your paper doll scraps.
Okay. Got it.
Alright.
Sachiko, hear our pleas. We want to go home. That's what charms really are. They represent our regards for other people. They're like microcosms of the soul, right? You and your mom both suffered such horrible fates. But all we want to do is free you from that suffering.
Let's see, so we've got to do it 6 times. So 1. Sachiko, we beg of you. Go, go, Power Rangers!
Sachiko, we beg of you.
Sachiko, we beg of you!
Sachiko, we beg of you.
Sachiko, we beg of you! And one more for Sachiko herself. Be free to the spectral realms! Heck. Ah! You guys, Yuka, Naomi, is everyone alright?
It's okay. It's nothing serious. I'll use my ribbon to help stop the bleeding. Hopefully that should be enough. Ayumi, thank you.
Yuka.
We did it. Toshi?
Naomi, I'm so glad you're okay. What happened with Shinohara?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, you okay? And I got my maps here because I know I'm gonna have to run back through.
Now is your only chance to escape. The veil between your world and this school is at its thinnest. The gate is open. You need to hurry and get outside the building before it closes. Complete the ritual. Once it closes, this nexus will return to the way it was, and you'll have lost your chance to get out. What? So what's gonna happen to all of you then? Oh, we're just shit out of luck. We're stuck. It appears we've become a part of these spaces. Sachiko was the only one among us who could be saved. Right now, I'm free, but it's not going to last. Soon, I'll continue shaping this place, just as I always have. No! This school has already begun creating a new Sachiko. Please, go. Get out of the building while you still can.
Bum, 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 bum. And we see her clothes turning red, symbolizing she is the chosen one. Come on, let's get going. Going where, though? There's no real exit to this place. The covered walkway, maybe. We run. Somewhere in the distance, a bell tolls its sounds like the hour tone of a grandfather clock. Oh wait, shit. Now, I could go and try to collect all the tags, but I don't think I will. Let's see. Oh wait, the door's open. We gotta book it. We gotta move. We are speed. Here we go. We can continue on from here. There are, let's see, 3 tags I missed, but I'm not gonna worry about it. We made it. All we have to do now is climb over this fence and we're home free. Let's go! Please work, please work, please work. Hold tight to your Sachiko scrap. Don't let go. Says Yuki. Oh, shit.
Huh? Mm. Whoa! Are we? We are. We're home. Satoshi! Yuka. We really made it. Yuki, thank you so much. And so, the 5 of us who survived were able to return to Kisaragi Academy, to the real world, in our own time. For a while, we were all just so happy to be home and to be alive. We were overjoyed. But it didn't take long before the grim reality of what happened wiped the smiles off our faces. Miss Yui, Shinohara, Morishige, and Suzumoto. They weren't with us anymore. Well, be careful on your way home, okay? Oh, am I in control again now? I will. Goodbye. Later. Wait, before you all go... Don't stay home tomorrow. Come to school. Please. I know we've had a horribly traumatic incident, but no one's gonna fucking believe us. So, just come in. Okay. I didn't think I'd be able to sleep that night, after all the things I'd seen. Yeah, but exhaustion is a hell of a drug. But I wound up sleeping like a rock. The next morning, it was with heavy hearts that we all trudged toward a school devoid of Miss Yui and the others. Yet, fate still had one more sick twist in store for us. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, your Satoshi voice reminds me of Rudius from Mishoko Tensei. Nice voice acting, Quissy. Oh, thank you. Also, hi, Glody. Welcome in. It was like the 4 people who died in that school had never existed to begin with. No, This isn't right! How can no one else remember any of them? All those times we spent with Seiko and the others! Am I just supposed to accept that none of that really happened? Dun dun dun. Also, hey MC, welcome into. Miss you too, and you're welcome. Miss Yui, Suzumoto, or Shigens and Shinohara. Are you telling me they only exist in our memories now? That's just beyond cruel! Still absorbing innumerable souls and ingesting the thoughts of innocent victims, Heavenly Host Elementary stands firm, with a newly appointed Sachiko at its core. There are those precious few who survived, those who lost their lives, and those who were overcome by the dark curses therein. And among them all are the spirits of those who were wronged, bearing an unimaginable pain and endlessly searching for respite from their sadness. For a place to call home. Chapter 5 End. Well, it's also not necessarily delusions, it's that the curse of the school, like, erases them from existence. I'm sorry to call you here like this, Satoshi. Oh, it's not a problem at all. What's up? There's something I want you to see. Okay, Zemsy, good luck with work. Take care. Don't let it drive you crazy. Here. Isn't that? It is. It's that unsent text message from Shinohara I showed you. Yeah. I need to tell you something. So it was you. Seiko couldn't move, but instead of saving her, I put a noose around her neck. You don't remember any of it? When I saw that scene play out, my mind just shut down. I couldn't think at all, and a black mist began forming around me. I was slipping away. I didn't care either. Nothing mattered to me anymore. I would have welcomed death. Not the time for that! Sims 4 Corpse Party Death Run win. It would probably be Sims 3 for me, though. To be fair, I prefer playing in 3 than 4. Also, hi Squirrel Dad, welcome in. Getting sultry when you're no! No! Although I guess, given some later iterations of the game and how close Seiko was to Naomi, I'm sure she would have actually liked that, but Seiko knew Naomi didn't swing that way. I think. Hey! God, no! Seiko, I wish I could take it back. The darkness had begun seeping into every pore. My body was pitch black. I was right on the verge of losing consciousness. And then...
My favorite scene! No hard feelings.
This is... that text message. Why am I receiving it now? It doesn't matter. I don't even want to live anymore. Living is too painful. I'm sure Seiko must have died hating me. There's just nothing left to live for. Ding. It's the same message. Seiko, are you trying to tell me something? Ding. She must be spamming me. She's probably furious.
Furious you wanna die. She wants you to live!
No, there's no way she's not mad at me. We had such a huge fight. She can't possibly forgive me. Especially not after what I did to her. Seiko, there's no excuse for my actions. You must hate me, right? You have to hold some kind of grudge, right? Seiko?
Spamming you with love, child!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you, Seiko. I love you. Seiko, she really existed, didn't she? She really did spend all that time with us, right?
She did. She was real Naomi.
Miss Yui, and the others too. I can't stand the thought that I'll never see them again. Just one last time. I just want to talk to Seiko. One last time.
I know you do. Corpse party. True end. Gah. The fear continues in Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. And that is Corpse Party. And yes. And I'm debating whether or not I want to play the extra stories that we do have unlocked, because we've got 2 of them unlocked. We have A Gentleman's Errand and Meeting of the Minds. But they're more like self-contained stories and don't really add much to the game itself. Or at least to the overall story as far as I remember. It's more like their character building stories. And they aren't really that important to the main story of Corpse Party. And in replaying this, I hadn't realized that there was that, or at least what I believe to be like a major plot hole. Where, oh, these people die and now they're erased from existence, but not always. Because the 3 children that were murdered in the 70s in this game are for some reason remembered. Because, like, it makes sense for Sachiko and Yoshi to be remembered because the curse hadn't even taken place. They were part of the source of the curse. But for the 3 children to be remembered, and apparently none of the other victims to be remembered, that's one that doesn't make sense to me. Why are these 3 children remembered? Because, like, the canonical reason for why Naho was still remembered, oh, shit. How fucking dare you? Be gone? Oh yeah, I'm good. Just one of them bots are like, oh hey, we want you to buy this shit from us. And I'm just like, no, fuck you. Not the bot, yeah. I got mixed it up so they're instantly sniped. But, the canonical reason for Naho being able to still be remembered is because she had such a huge presence. Like, Kokubiki was well known, and so was Naho. So it makes sense that the curse would have a harder time erasing their presence. Because, like, they were so widespread the entirety of the planet. I can kind of believe, like, a localized curse would have difficulty erasing a worldwide presence. Or at least a nationwide presence. But that suspension of disbelief kind of falls apart when these 3 children are murdered, and other murders that could be attributed to Sachiko are apparently not. They don't count towards that. So it's like sometimes they're remembered, sometimes they aren't. And that's kind of what's implied, that sometimes the curse wipes them away and other times it doesn't. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I don't think we ever really got an explanation for that. Yeah. It is, like, very bizarre to me. And, like, that's actually one of my very few hang-ups with the story. Because, like, that's kind of like a big hole it's left in there. And you're trying to figure out, like, okay, where does this fit into the network of this story? Like, it's not a tattered hole, it's just the threads don't seem to connect right. They just they don't do that for me. But the rest of the story, if you ignore that plot hole, is still really solid. And I'm honestly surprised that in this version we get to see basically Yoshi getting pushed down the stairs by fuck. I just call him the principal because I don't remember his name right off. But Takamine, that's his name. Takamine pushed Yoshi down the stairs. We actually got to see that in pixelated format. And the portraits in this, while they could be a little how to draw manga circa 2008, they were far more competent than what's in the later remakes. Because in the later remakes, all their poses are really stiff. The person who drew these, some of the poses could still be very stiff, but they still felt far more believable. They were drawn cartoony, yes, but they still looked more like proper poses that a person could take. They did not look unnatural. I honestly like Takamine's portrait more in this game compared to later versions. I played one YouTuber that shan't be named. I watched his Let's Play of Corpse Party for the PSP, which at the time that was the definitive edition of Corpse Party. And he played it on an emulator. But since it has come out on PC again, there was a 2021 remake recently, I may try to play that at a later point. While I disliked, and again, I just want to go on that I'm surprised that this version showed the murder of Yoshi and Sachiko, as well as him burying them, or at least burying Sachiko. We got to see the burial of Sachiko in other versions of the game, but I'm surprised that the murders were omitted. Not that I necessarily want to see the murder because, can't help a little pang of, oh no, seeing a small bean being strangled because, that's not a good thing. But it gets a more visceral reaction from a player than just having it appear on the screen, as like the text box, like, oh, this is what's happening right now and you can hear it. But yeah, I may play the 2021 remake, I'm not sure. I still want to wait till it gets decently cheap because I am a cheap barb. That's just how I do, it's how I be. And I've only really got 3 complaints when it comes to Corpse Party, or at least the original storyline. And that's, of course, as mentioned, the whole deal with, the children and why they still remembered. But also, it feels really weird that they focused so much on Yuka needing to piss. And then that would continue to be, a feature in the later games, from what I remember. To the point that Yuka in... Oh god, what was the name of the game? It was, the last one. That was, in 3D, and it was optimized horribly. Because it goes Book of Shadows and then... Fuck, I don't remember what it's called. All I know is I hated it because you get, ecchi Lolita magical girl transformations for, one of the characters. She wasn't a main character, mind you, she's, a side character. You've got your weird little edgelord boy who gets his head bit off later, which he deserved that. That was one of the very few good things about that game. But, on topic to the point, though, in that game, Yuka has to wear diapers now because she has now obtained such horrible damage to her bladder she cannot hold it herself anymore. She has become incontinent. And it's like, why does that have to be a thing? This doesn't need to be included. Why are you focusing so much on a middle schooler's need to piss, dude? Like, and that's not like I'm not the only one that's complained about that or kind of side-eyed it because that's just fucking weird. Another thing I kind of noticed while playing through this is almost constant, not constant, but like when it came to the characters like throwing up or their, or like any mention of them shitting themselves, it comes up enough that I'm kind of like side-eyeing that as well. Like, why why is this a thing? Why does that need to be mentioned? Like, someone pissing themselves out of fear, I can get that, but I've never heard of anyone shitting themselves out of fear. I know some animals do that as like a defense mechanism, like, oh, don't eat me, I'm covered in shit. But like, I don't think humans have that same defense mechanism exactly. But yeah, Ono is right. It's just a little weird how often they come up. And I think my friend complained that the other corpse party was also weird like that. Yeah, like, I don't like what they did with the later games just purely because they changed the core of the story. The way Corpse Party is, it's a self-contained story. It didn't need to be built upon at all. I think there's some parts of it that could and should have been tweaked, such as like, mm, such as like the plot hole thing mentioned earlier. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to maintain my train of thought. The plot hole would have needed to be fixed. I don't understand why, and like this is going on to one of the little side stories that I'm not doing, the extras. Gentleman's Errand. It's basically the story of the bathroom ghost in the boys' bathroom. Like, we don't need that. We don't need to know why there's a ghost in the toilet. It's a fucking ghost school. We didn't need a Victorian or Edwardian era man in the bathroom. It could have just stayed, a nebulous disembodied voice. Like, we didn't need that. I'm forever gonna be salty that Corpse Party 2 was canceled. And as far as I'm aware, is still canceled because we were finally seeing something else. Something fucking else. And then, like, after I think like 2 chapters, they gave up. Like, you're just gonna keep milking the ghost school tit until it turns into a black husk? Is this where we're at? Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. You get DMCA'd to hell if you play that game and post it to YouTube. It's like he doesn't want anyone else to know about it. And by he, I mean Makoto Kedwin. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the want for that is coming from him. But that's just me making a huge ass assumption. That's not me, like, knowing that for absolute certainty, but I would not be surprised. Yeah, there are still some Let's Plays from, like, the early 10s. One I can think of right off the top of my head that's still available is done by the Anime Man before he got fucking huge. And, like, it was a really interesting story. It was literally setting up to be so fucking cool. And then he just fucking drops it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But, like, another thing I found weird about Corpse Party, but also equally intriguing. I don't know why either, because the thing is, it's still an unfinished game, and the thing is, it's still being stolen.
It's still being sold on Steam, by the way. You can buy Corpse Party 2 Chapters 1 and 2 on Steam.
You can still purchase it. So, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's on sale right now for $7. And like, just to spoil that a little bit, the very end of it is what sets up the hook for the rest of the game, where the creepy like nurse aide man lifts up the main character's shirt and her sweater, and like on one hand it's still kind of creepy because like it's showing off her bra as well, so it's just like deeply uncomfortable. But the even worse part is that there's a giant hole in her chest where her heart should be. So it kind of shows like why it's named Dead Patient, because the patients are technically dead. You're gonna give us that fucking hook and then not deliver it? Not the recent reviews complaining about it being unfinished and abandoned. Yeah. Yeah. And they're like the actual asking price is $10. Still wants to charge $10 for it for a game that's more than likely never going to be finished. And as far as I know, they're never picking it up again. But yeah, like I love this game. I hate the direction the series as a whole went to, and it didn't need to be like remade to hell. It could have been a self-contained story and he could have moved on, because what I saw in Corpse Party 2 Dead Patient, that shit was cool. We still got some of like the weird piss shit, but like not as much. Unbelievably. Like there's only one scene I can think of where like the main character just for some reason randomly pisses herself. Like why? But like the rest of it was solid, or at least the idea of it was solid. Because like I have received head pats, thank you. Like the game is clunky as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. That bitch clunky. And I think they used like either the same engine or a modified version of it for the last Corpse Party game. Which it's driving me crazy that I cannot remember it. It's not Blood Drive. That's what it was called. Corpse Party Blood Drive. Which I'm actually kind of surprised there isn't like a Corpse Party bundle. But yeah, like they keep remaking Corpse Party because they're saying like, oh, well now we have every part of it. Now it's got voice lines. Now we've like fixed everything that was broken before, because apparently there were some bugs in the older versions. I had not encountered any, but according to some other people who have played the game, not all the voice lines are actually voiced, which, you know, doesn't really matter to me because it's in Japanese anyway, and I prefer speaking the lines myself, especially if I'm playing it on stream. But, you know, you kind of can't claim it's got thorough voice lines and not all the lines are voiced. In addition to, like, oh fuck. I think that may have been, like, the only complaint, that some of the lines still weren't fully voiced. I don't know. It's still a good game. Like, if you want to play it for yourself, Like, so some of the good points for this one is I love how the pixel art looked. I hated the floor. I prefer, like, the more detailed floors from the later versions of this series. But the rest of the pixel art was beautiful. That shit was solid. Nice, crisp, clean, and you could make out everything. Because, like, the secret to pixel art and good pixel art is if you can't figure out how to make it look the way you want, you still have to give it the suggestion of what you want it to look like. And they succeeded more often than not with that. Like, again, I fucking adore the pixel work. And I like how most of the sprites for, like, the furniture and the beds and shit like that were to scale to the sprites. Because, for example, in the PSP remake, they scaled up the sprites, but they didn't remake the sprites for, like, the characters, and they scaled them up instead. And in doing so, rather than doing them by nearest neighbor, which, you know, I actually did scale them up to nearest neighbor to see what they would look like, and they looked fucking awful to get them close to the scale of the actual, like, PSP sprites for the furniture and shit. So they had it blurry, which on one hand actually helped make them stand out more in the PSP version, but I prefer the clean look of the sprites in this version. And, like, it's just fucking great. I like the look of it. The music is still solid. Like, I know some people have made fun of the music of this game series because, like, it sounds more like you're at a techno rave than a schoolhouse of death and decay. You know, Sachiko's taking the G off the graveyard, turning it into a raveyard, you know? But, like, the music's fucking iconic. Like, it's hard to feel too scared when you just got going on. It is still largely a good game despite my hang-ups. I would just say, like, avoid the rest of the series. It's just not good. It's not. It's just not.